You guys have sent me an awesome video in the third set that I'm really looking forward to share with everyone. So I just wanted to ask you guys a few questions because we've had families learning before with us, father and son, mother and daughter. We've had Trevor and his granddaughter performing at our events before, so I really like families playing music together. So, Gemma, you've been learning with us a few years now, haven't you?
Yes, just over three.
It's over 3 years.
Yeah.
And what first inspired you to start learning guitar with us?
It was something I'd always wanted to do, but didn't think I could do. And then when I quit my job and started working for myself, I had all this, well, not free time, but I was a lot more flexible in the time that I had. And I thought, well, yes, I can do that. And see, I was at school, so I had more time that I could actually dedicate because it's a commitment. You have to be committed. I had that time. And also it was something I wanted to do for me, sort of getting myself back into being somebody, not just someone's mum, but getting my, pre-mum self back as well.
Fantastic. And then she wanted to learn guitar.
Yeah, exactly. She followed me into it. So.
Cool. So, Zia, what inspired you to learn guitar then? Was it seeing your mum putting in all that practice and hard work?
Yeah, and I think it was partly that, but it was also partly because most of my classmates were learning piano, and I wanted to learn how to play an instrument too. So I sort of started piano. My aunt started teaching me a little bit, but I didn't like it that much, and I wanted something cooler. And because Mummy's already started playing guitar, I thought, yeah, that looks cool. I want to try that.
Excellent, excellent. And you guys like to listen to a lot of music together, don't you?
Yeah,
What
we
kind of what kind of stuff do you like?
Um, I like lots of different music
Yeah, we listen
actually.
to lots of different genres, but you tend to listen to more sort of the rock
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But alternative, we listen to a lot of folk. Well, I make you listen to a lot more folky stuff, which is what I enjoy playing more. But listen to an awful lot of
Yeah.
different stuff, electronic stuff as well. We're into it's just
Lots of stuff.
anything that's a
Lots.
banger, basically, is what we
Yeah.
like.
Excellent, excellent. Good stuff. And what I'll ask you this question first, Gemma. What have you struggled with? Um, like, what can you remember really struggling with since you've been learning?
I think the hardest thing for me was probably this year with lockdown and everything else that when you are when you get to a certain point where it takes a long time to learn stuff to get really good, that you end up putting a lot of time into learning like a little bit of something, and then it just becomes that you don't feel like you're progressing very far, and you can, because you're dedicating a lot of time to one particular area, you can actually sort of lose your skills in other areas as well. And there was a point where I thought, I'm actually going backwards. I'm just not learning. And what is the point? Because I'm rubbish. It's just completely it's not worth doing because I just don't have the ability. So yeah, so that was not I don't say crisis, but it's been difficult. Just sometimes just thinking, yeah, I've just got to keep going. I can do this.
It's that inner voices, isn't it? The self doubt. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
yeah.
I think a lot of people get that. So have you been able to overcome that then?
Yeah, and I think talking to your teachers helps. So, and Jimmy was great, and lots of advice. So, yeah, I mean, some days it's difficult to just get your head into the practice zone, but yeah, it's good. I mean, I love it. I still love it. So that's the most
Excellent.
important thing.
Well, I think that's the main thing, isn't it? When you find stuff difficult, you've got to remember why you're doing it in the first place. I think that's really, really important. And what about you, Zia? Because again, you're one of our you're on senior. Well, you're in fact you coming to the end of senior three now. I've heard a
Yeah.
little rumor. Yeah, so that's incredible. How old are you?
9.
Wow, nine, coming to the end of senior three. That's amazing. And so, what have you found difficult since you started?
Well, there's been lots of like small things, but I think recently the thing I struggle with is beginning to sort of go into bar chords because I started to want to learn songs that were more tricky because a lot of things do have bar chords in them, and I was tired of thinking, oh well, no, I can't play that one because it's got a barcode in it. So I started learning a few barcodes, and now I prefer them to open chords.
Oh, excellent. Oh, that's really, really good. Yeah, barcodes are tough, aren't they? They're the kind of, I think once you get beyond beginner level, barcodes are the next kind of big stumbling block, aren't they? So, what did you find difficult about barcodes initially?
Um, I think it was mainly having to space your other fingers out a bit more from your first finger, and keeping my little finger bent. That was an issue. Um, but yeah,
But now you can play them and you're happy playing them and they don't feel tricky anymore. Great. That's really, really cool. Well done, guys. Awesome. So, if you could give one piece of advice to our other guitar students, what would it be?
I think that maybe if you find something tricky, slow it down and break it up into small parts. And if you get a little part right when it's slow, up the tempo a little bit and then piece it all together.
Yeah, that's really, really good, and I'm glad you found that useful because that's something that I talk about a lot actually. Yeah, don't if you can play most of a piece, but there's just a bit that you're struggling with, that's the bit to concentrate on, definitely. What about you, Gemma? Any advice from you?
I'd say try and play in a group or with somebody else as much as possible. I know that's been incredible, it's been impossible this over lockdown, but when because we have different styles, don't we? You like to play on your electric guitar and I play my acoustic, but we do different practice. But when we play together, even if it's just it's great. We have a lot of fun, and I think it's the fun that we do our practicing so that we can play, and it's great. I think that's when it's really when we have a lot of fun.
It's playing songs and stuff.
Doing SpongeBob songs.
Fantastic. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more really. And we've had a couple of aborted attempts, haven't we, at running some events. Hopefully by the spring we'll be able to get back together in some capacity. I'm really, really looking forward to that. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're going to see your lovely performance later on in this set. And we'll see you then. Take care.
Bye.